Hi guys, this is Jacob from Moonwalk, back with a new video with some of the new records that I purchased recently. Actually, the ones that I'm going to show you today and the clips that I'm going to show you in a short while from the store where I bought them. This is I think around 2 months ago. I just have not had the time to do this video and to show you the records, unfortunately. But now here we are, and it's time to reveal what I bought. I went to my favorite, I think my favorite store for new records. They only have new records, no secondhand, but they have a lot of records, and they have everything that you could want. Everything. Oh, sorry, just let me just fix my phone here. They have everything that you could desire in both new releases and reissues, and as I'm going to show you in a short while, they really focus a lot on world music, on, well, world. I know that some of you hate the term world music, but you know, music from other parts of the world: Africa, South America, Middle East, Asia, and I tend to dig a lot in those crates, and I have I think two records here that were from those crates there, and that I'm going to show you in a short while. So bearing in mind that this was recorded a while back, the records that you see in the new record bins, on the new arrivals record bins, are maybe not that up to date, but I hope that you can bear with me with that. Primarily, I really want to show you the diversity of the store, and show you what you can find in this store when it comes to music from other parts of the world. Also, they still have a lot of record store day releases from this year and from previous years, and I'm going to show you some of those that at least were still there when I visited 2 months ago. I have actually been back since then and bought some new records as well, but I'm going to show those to you in another video. So here we go. This is my short visit to Beat, which is located in Copenhagen, and I'm gonna be back in a short while to show you the records that I bought. So stay tuned.
Γίνομαι συρφετός ως που καταλήγει στην άκρη του διβανιού του γκρέμου, ανίκανος στα δάκρυα και στην ποίηση. Μέσα σε θόλο άπειρο ηριδισμό. Και τι σε βλέπω, φίλε.
okay. I hope that you got a good impression of the store Beat. As you can see, it's quite a big store, and they have, like I said, a lot of records in every single genre that you can imagine and or desire. And it's just one of those stores that whenever I see some obscure record online or in a video, maybe some of you have shown it, or in the for example the Amoeba series, What's in My Bag. I've discovered a lot of records through that series here on YouTube. And every time I go there, I go to the guys behind the counter and say, you probably don't have this record, but I've seen so and so in a video, and then they always go, no, I think we have that actually. Let me just find it for you, and they just get they just find it every time. They just have everything that I want, and they are so kind in that store, and they are so qualified, and that's one of the most important things, that they really, really, really know what they're doing. They know about music. They know about the records that they need in the store. If you watch my videos, you know that I do like a good craft beer. And I always give a shout out to my good friend Dean from Grandma's Handbag, because he always has his little Grandma's Little Helper. And I'm not trying to copy him. I'm not trying to steal anything from him, but I just want to do this as an homage to Dean. So in most of my videos, I also show mostly beer, or well, always beer, because beer is what I prefer. This time here, my favorite brewery is the Danish brewery Mikkeller, and they have done a series called Hallo, ich bin Berliner Weisse, which is a series of beers all in the Berliner Weisse style, which are sour tart beers, and with different types of fruit. So this is, as you can see from the can, this is with cassis. So this is this really, really beautiful red beer with a lovely foamy head, which is all pink. And this is, just like the others, a really tart, quite sour beer, but it's not my favorite beer style, but I do love this series, and I love the way that they can. I think that I've had like 3 or 4 different types by now, and they're all just amazing. And so shout out to Dean, shout out to all of you guys. Okay, so it's time to look at the records. I got, on this trip, I got 8 records. I think only, let me just look. Only 2 of them, no, actually there are 9 here, but there's a story to that. Only 2 of the 8 records that I originally purchased on my trip to Beat are new releases. All of the others are reissues. And some of them, like always, I have on CD, but I did not have on vinyl. So I tend to buy all of the, well, not all, but most of the albums I have on CD, I tend to buy on vinyl also. I don't know what it is. I just want it on vinyl because, well, because of the reasons that we all just love vinyl. So the first one that I picked out, first one you saw me pick out in the video, is this one, which was the most important one that I had to get. This is a British project, Frou Frou, and their album called Details. This was originally released in 2002, and it is an electro pop album, which is just a pop masterpiece. The female singer here is Imogen Heap. You may know her from her solo stuff. She did an album which gave her some hits. I don't recall the title of the album now, but she did have some hits with it. I think primarily the one called Hide and Seek, which is like a ballad, but still very electronic, musically, very electronic based, and she's just an amazing singer. And then also in this project is this guy here. I believe that is Guy Sixworth. Yeah, that's the backside of the record here. So these two came together for this single album, which they made in 2002, and they did not do any more together. There were some hits from this. The first song here, Let Go, was a single, and then also the one called Breathe In was also a single. Brilliant pop up. As you can see, this is a music on vinyl reissue from 2018, like I said. And the thing about this album is that the copy that I bought at the store, when I came home, put it on the turntable, played it, and on record number 2, there was a huge defect on the record. You could just see it, even without having to listen to it, that this is going to make this is going to be a problem when you play it. And sure enough, when I put it on the turntable, record 2, and put the needle on it, there was just some very audible clicks. And at one point, or I think actually 2 points, the needle skipped. So I wrote to the store and I said, I have this and that, this problem here. I took a picture of it. They could see it, clearly, and they said, no worries, come, bring it back to us, and we'll give you a new one. Well, I live about 100 kilometers away from the store, so that was a bit difficult for me, and I don't have that much time. I can only go on weekends and only when my wife is working. So that was not possible for me. So what they did, actually, they offered to send me a new copy. They didn't have any left in the store, so they had to order it, and then they sent me this new copy, which is completely flawless. So that was really good service from the store. The album, like I said, is amazing. I'll give you just a few short needle drops to give you an idea of what the music is. This is Fro Fro and their album Details, 2002, in a 2018 repress. Well, it's not actually a repress because this is the first time on vinyl, so 2018 vinyl issue. So check it out, Fro Fro. Okay, the next record I want to show you, and also one that you saw me pick out in the video, is this one. Whenever I go to beat, I've said this before in my videos, whenever I go to beat, because I've just completely fallen in love with, I've discovered and fallen in love with John Coltrane. Every time I go to the store, I buy a new Coltrane reissue. And I did not have this on vinyl. I did not actually have this on CD, I think. So it was about time that I got this record here, and I knew that if I had to buy this record, I had to do it properly. So this is John Coltrane's A Love Supreme, the Complete Masters. So this is a triple disc album on Impulse. As you know, the album was originally released in 1965. This is a 2016 reissue, like I said, on Impulse. You all know this picture here. So it has 3 records in it. There is the original stereo LP is disc 1, and then disc 2 is the quartet sessions recorded on December 9th, 1964, where John Coltrane played with his quartet, of course. You can see the songs here. And then record 3 is the sextet sessions recorded on December 10th in 1964. So you can see all of the tracks here. So it's a lot of the same songs, basically. I mean, there were only 4 songs on the album, but those different takes, alternate takes, are just amazing. It's just amazing to listen to the diversity in these different takes. And as you all know, the playing is just amazing. There's a really cool large booklet here with a lot of detailed information about the record, about the recording session, about Coltrane himself, and yeah, it's really worth the investment. It's not a cheap record, but you know, I think I paid, what did I pay? I didn't convert that into dollars, but I paid around, I think, 280. That must be, if you say that the dollar is 7 krona, so that must be just shy of $40, which is, I think, a pretty decent price. All of the records have this really beautiful Impulse label. Of course, they're all black on black vinyl, but yeah, that's the label here. And there's also this really cool hype sticker here, which I took off the cellophane and just put on one of the inner sleeves. So yeah, and you know, you all know this album. It is just amazing from start to finish. I hadn't, I have to admit, I'm still learning about Coltrane. I hadn't actually heard this album in its entirety before, but I am really happy that I got this, and this will be on my turntable a lot this year and the years to come. So John Coltrane, A Love Supreme. You all know this. I won't do needle drops, and if you don't know it, well, that's your loss, and you need to check it out. The next record is also a reissue, and also actually one of the albums that I had on CD, or have on CD, but I had to get on vinyl. This is LCD Sound System. This is Happening, their third album, originally released in the mid 2000s, mid noughts. What do you say, aughts, noughts? I'm not sure. See the gatefold here. And this, you know, this album is really packed. They're, you know, Drunk Girls, Dance Yourself Clean, All I Want, I Can Change. You wanted to hit Pow Pow. I think Pow Pow is my favorite LCD Sound System song of all time. Yeah, great album. You all know this. This is the last album they did before they split up for a period of time. James Murphy, of course, the brains behind the project. Inner sleeves with a lot of pictures on it. Out on DFA Records. You can see here, DFA. Those are the labels here. So yeah, and you know, you all know LCD Sound System. I won't bore you with needle drops. If you don't know LCD Sound System, they are like I tend to call them an organic electronic music band. Because they have their inspirations from Bowie, from Roxy Music, from all of the greats in the 70s and the 80s, and they just mix it up all together in this big pot. And of course, James Murphy, lead singer, and like I said, the brains behind the project. He's just an amazing guy, so talented, so innovative. Yeah, LCD Sound System, brilliant album. Yeah. Next record I got is by a Danish band that no longer exists, but I have previously shown when I bought their debut album. This is the band called Green. I bought their debut album Teenage Museum, which I did buy on CD back in the day in 1992 when it was released. I always wanted it on vinyl, and I found it at a reasonable price in really good quality, and I bought it. Played you some needle drops back then. Really brilliant. This is their second album, released in 1994, originally Lover's Lingo, and this is the first ever vinyl release. It's out on the Danish record label called Wouldn't Waste Records. You see the WWR logo there. It is a limited edition of 500. I got number 236. I think the first 100 they do is on colored vinyl, so this is only on black standard vinyl, a black polylined inner sleeve. Originally it was released on the label called Cloudland, so Wooden Waste kept this original design from the Cloudland labels, and then of course put their own logo on it. This is a really beautiful album. Green are, I guess you can say, an alternative pop band. They draw their inspiration from the Smiths, from Echo and the Bunnymen, from Ecstasy, from a lot of these late 80s, early 90s, like jingly jangly pop, indie pop bands. And this album is almost just as good as their debut, which I really, really love. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. This is a really good one. I'm going to give you some needle drops of Green, just to give you an idea of what this band was about. Sadly, they no longer exist, but yeah. Green, check it out. Oh, and also I want to really give a big shout out to Wooden Waste Records. Very, very small Danish record label. I think they're about to release their albums number 10 and 11, and it's just, I think, one or two guys doing it out of their homes, and they're doing a really, really great job. Their main purpose is to only release albums that have never been released on vinyl before. The guy who runs it, he's a vinyl purist. Whenever there's a discussion on Facebook, on some of the different Facebook groups that he's in, and he says, "Well, I haven't heard this and that album." I say, "Oh, well, you need to check it out." "Well, I can't because it's not on vinyl." So his self-proclaimed task is to get great albums that have never been released on vinyl before out on vinyl. So yeah, Green Lovers Lingo, needle drops coming your way.
For me and you, lovers lingo, please say those words that always help me through. Now talk to me like no one else can do. Outside your apartment, I've got no key. I found a title, I haven't got a song. Our love is gone. It took me 6 months to forget you, and then suddenly.
Okay, I hope that you like Green. I really do. I think that they were an amazing band. Really beautiful indie pop. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it. Cheers. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Brilliant. Okay. This next record I want to show you, I actually did not buy on this trip. Because what happened, I told you about the Frou Frou album and the problem that I had with that one. And like I said, they sent me a new copy of the album and told me to bring the old, the defective one next time I visited the store. And I said, that's fine, we can do that. And when you send me the new copy that you're going to send me, could you please include a record? Because I really want that. And that record that I wanted them to include in the package, was this one. This is Kiasmos and their EP called Blurred. Now, Kiasmos, I've talked about them previously in a couple of videos. Kiasmos are a duo with a guy that you may know, Olafur Arnalds from Iceland. He's a classical composer, does a lot of music for films and TV shows, TV series, and is just a brilliant and amazing composer. His classical music is just some of the most moving music out there at the moment, new music at least. In Kiasmos, he has teamed up with a guy called, I think it's called Janus Rasmussen. He's from the Faroe Islands, which is, if you don't know the Faroe Islands, it's a small island group that's also placed up there with Iceland, somewhere between Iceland and Greenland, I think. My European geography is maybe not my strongest side. Oh, it is maybe my weakest side. It's not my strongest side, at least. And Janus, the other guy, is an electronic dude, and he does beats. So what Kiasmos is a combination of the hauntingly beautiful classical compositions of Olafur Arnalds, and then added some very subtle but still really beautiful beats. So you could call this ambient at times, but it has the beats, so that it's not, it's not all ambient. You can say that it is minimal, because it is a very minimal approach, and the music, the compositions are, there aren't big pompous compositions. They're, very small, but they evolve. So it's a minimal, and it is techno-ish, and it's classical-ish, and they just really have their own sound, and they are amazing. I think they are the band that I've listened to the most the past 2 or 3 years. Their debut album from 2014, self-titled debut album, Kiasmos, is a must-buy if you like beautiful, sweet, yet intense electronic music that makes music that makes you think, but also brings you to the dance floor at points at least. So, Kiasmos Blurred. What happened is that, like I said, I asked them to include this in the package with the new copy of the Frou Frou album. What happened is that the copy that I got first for Kiasmos also had a fault. There was a big line all across side 1, and again, every time the needle passed it, it just clicked. And so I had to get in touch with the store again and say, it's really great that you send me the new Frou Frou, and it's it doesn't have any faults. It's beautiful. It sounds good, but the Kiasmos that you sent with it also had a fault. And they said, well, bring it back to us next time you come to see us. And so I did. I went there again recently, got a new copy of Kiasmos. I'm gonna try to do some needle drops, and hopefully the copyright people won't get on my ass. Kiasmos Blurred, just I cannot recommend this enough. It is just so beautiful, so lovely. Check it out. Oh man, don't you just love that Kiasmos sound? I sure as hell do. It's I don't know what it is. It just awakes something in me. Yeah, it's just so hauntingly beautiful. Next record I want to show you is actually also very beautiful. It is the latest Beach House album called 7. Funny story. This record I got along with the Hall here, first time round, and this one also had some pressing issues. A little on side 1, and especially on side 2, where there were so many clicks and pops and so much background noise. There was no skipping of the needle or anything, but so much background noise. So once again, I had to take also this one back to the store. They played it in the store. I said, well, okay, we're gonna trade it for you. We're gonna switch it for you. So this one also had a problem. So 3 of these 8 records had some difficulties, some flaws from the pressing plant, and that's not a good sign. I think maybe it's a sign of things just going too fast at the pressing plants. I don't know, the lacking of quality control. I don't know. But this one also just had some issues, so I had to take it back also. This is the inside of the gatefold, and the back side of the album here. I have not listened to this copy yet, but what I actually just discovered is that the copy that I had was a standard black vinyl, inner sleeve here. This one is just a hype sticker that was on the cellophane I've put here on the inner sleeve. But this one is actually the limited clear vinyl version. So yeah, I'm excited to give this a spin. I haven't done yet. Beach House, an American duo, make this once again like this dream indie pop. Inspirations from, I think, from bands like Slowdive, My Bloody Valentine, some of the shoegaze bands, but not as at all as guitar driven as My Bloody Valentine, or as noisy as My Bloody Valentine. There's a little lyric sheet insert here, also included in the package. But check it out, Beach House. If you don't know them, you should, because they are so beautiful. They make so beautiful music. So yeah, Beach House. Recommendations from me. Okay, I have 3 more records to show you. This video is already ridiculously long. I'm gonna try and do it short. Next record I want to show you is this one. This is by a duo called Palace Winter, and the album is called Nowadays. This is the second full-length album from this duo, which consists of a guy from Denmark and a guy from Australia. And they also play like indie pop, alternative pop music. And I have their first album. Before that they did an EP, which was also amazing. I don't have that, unfortunately. I haven't gotten that yet. This album is once again so beautiful. This is the backside of the cover here. It's a gatefold with the lyrics inside here and some photos. I don't know how they actually met. So, a guy from Denmark and a guy from Australia, they don't just come across each other on the street. I don't actually know what the story about this band is, really how they got together, but they make really beautiful music. This copy here is one of the limited edition, I think 1,000 pieces made on red vinyl, which I think matches the cover really well, matches the color on the cover. How do I do this best? Matches the color of the font, at least, on the cover really well. I know that James, who you all know, vinyl collector James, somehow came across this band through a friend and immediately ordered, I think, all 3 records that they've done. He showed this on Facebook as well. This is out on the Danish record label Tambo Rhinoceros, and I don't know how he ordered it in the States, but he did. He managed to do it, and that's really good. Really good call, because they do some really great music. So I'm gonna give you some needle drops as well for Palace Winter, Nowadays, and hopefully you like it. This Danish-Australian duo. Beautiful music there from Palace Winter, Nowadays, and I just discovered that the color of that record actually matches the color of my beer, so that's really good. Okay, so 2 more records to show you, and these are from the more exotic crates at Beat. This first one here is a Brazilian record. So this is, maybe you can't see this because of the obi strip, but this is a dude called Marconi Notaro, and the album is something in Portuguese, No Sobreno dos Metazoarios or something, I don't know. This was originally released in 1973, I think. This is a reissue out on Mr. Bongo, the brilliant label Mr. Bongo. I've purchased quite a lot of records on that label, Mr. Bongo. That is just an excellent label. They really bring out or bring forward some old hidden gems that not many people know of, and the ones that know them know that the original copies are, it's like a $1,000 record or something. This is Brazilian psych folk from the early 70s. I showed in a previous video a compilation from a different label. Maybe that was the Light in the Attic label, I don't recall now, called Psychedelic Pernambuco. Pernambuco, as I recall, is a small city in the north of Brazil where these guys who had a thing for psychedelic music did a record label and found some guys and gals who who did psychedelic music and released a lot of albums with these artists. Comes with this Obi strip. No, I think that was actually also on Mr. Bongo, because that one also had this Obi here. So you can see some of the artists also on that other record, and also on that same label. If you're lucky to find the reissues, is Lulu Cortez. There's Lulu Cortez and Cera Mayo. There's Tom Say. There is Flaviola or something, and then there's actually this Psychedelic Pernambuco album that I talked about. Brilliant compilation. If you're into Brazilian music, if you're into psychedelic Brazilian music from the 70s, check out this album here, Psychedelic Pernambuco. It's just an amazing compilation of some really, at points, some really weird Brazilian psychedelic. Anyways, this guy, Marconi Notaro, and this album here is amazing. The first side is has some really fun sound experiments, I should say, and the second one is more instrumental and a lot of guitar folk music. If you like psychedelic music, if you're interested, and if you like to explore, I can highly recommend this album and the others on Mr. Bongo if you can find them. I don't think that they are necessarily easily available anymore. They've done these records some years ago, and I don't know about represses of these reissues. If you can find them, get them. I'm gonna give you some needle drops of Marconi Notaro. And oh, by the way, fun thing about this album, is that this album is warped as fudge. I considered also taking this one back to the store, but decided, well, I know it's warped, but it plays without skipping and anything. So I'm just gonna keep it as is. I'm not gonna cost that much trouble at the store. Check out Marconi Notaro and this album title here in Portuguese that I can't translate.
A semana inteira, a noite dia fora, desmantelado, não perde um minuto, um segundo por hora. Aproveitar a vida, nunca ficar parado. Subior que não pode, super família ouvir família excelência.
One more record to show you. Just looked at the records that I have shown you so far. So we have electronic pop, we have a jazz masterpiece, we have a Danish alternative pop, indie pop from the early 90s. We have minimal techno-ish thing from Iceland and the Faroe Islands. We had some Brazilian psych, and then the last one is a record originated from Senegal. Diversity was his middle name. This is, I don't know about pronouncing these names here. So Youssou N'Dour, you maybe know, the master of Senegal music. presents Sheikh Ndiguel Lo. Sheikh Lo is what I'm gonna call him, and the album is Ne La Tias. Originally released in Senegal in 1996. I had not heard about this dude. I did not know about this reissue. This came out on Record Store Day. I did not, I mean, I went through the list Record Store Day so many times. I read up on a lot of records that I found out that I wasn't interested in. I missed this one until the guy who owns the Beat Store posted it on Facebook saying that, guys, you know, this was released on Record Store Day. You might not have noticed it. Listen to it, check it out, and then come buy it. And that's exactly what I did. I found it on Spotify, listened to it, fell in love with it. I had to pick it up when I visited the store next time. So that's what I did. Beautiful, beautiful African pop music with all of the traditional stuff that I like. And I missed out on this when it was released. I missed out on a Record Store Day, but I'm really, really happy that it was posted on Facebook, because I did not want to miss this. Did I show you the back side of the cover here? Those are the songs. Also comes with this obi strip. I kept it in the shrink wrap, or in the cellophane. No, it is shrink wrap. Just to you know, keep the cover intact. There are also some other titles available. This is out on World Circuit, so you can see Buena Vista Social Club, and also some other ones. It comes just on normal black vinyl. I think it's 180, not that makes any difference. Those are the labels here, with some different colors here. And then it comes with a couple of postcards and stuff. There are 2 postcards. This one here, and also the album cover here, postcard. There's a download code. And then also there's this binder here, this little folder here, with some really colorful illustrations and the story behind the music, which is really interesting read. There are lyrics in this little booklet as well. So all in all, you get your money's worth with this record here. If you like African music, if you like music from Senegal, and you don't know this record, I strongly recommend that you buy this record here. You will not regret it. A beautiful record. I'm going to give you some needle drops, just to convince you to get this. Sheikh Lo, ne La Tias. Yeah, Danish is my first language, so yeah, check it out. Okay guys, those were the records that I wanted to show you shortly. I did not manage to do that shortly. I hope that you can bear with me. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my beer. My football team, not soccer team, but football team, FC Copenhagen, just beat the arch rivals from Brøndby. We did not manage to beat them last year. I think we had 5 games and we had 1 draw and 4 losses, which has really been hurtful. Some of my colleagues are fans of that other crap team, and I can't wait to get back to work tomorrow and rub it in their face that we finally won over them again. So yeah, that's good. Until next time, see ya, bye bye.